Hey guys, looks like we had some technical difficulties with our web conference this morning. So what I'm doing here, I'm just going to go ahead and put together a video covering the couple of topics that we had intended to to do here. So I'll just make it really quick, and then you guys can email me if you have questions, um, and just let me know if there's anything that I need to fill in here for you. All right, so hopefully you noticed on the module this morning that there was a link to a worksheet. What it is, it's a master worksheet. You guys turned in this stands worksheet. Unfortunately, when we turned those in, they didn't turn out on my end the way that I had hoped that they would. So pretty much for the most part, if you turned it in, you probably got all of the points, unless it was clear that you were missing something. So what I want to do is just give you some basics. I gave you access to that master so that you can go through it, kind of compare it to your own, see what maybe holes you need to fill. First thing I want to make sure that everybody understands is that the suffix stan, STAN, that is going to mean the land of. So the first part of the word is going to be the primary ethnic group living there. So Kazakhstan is going to be land of the Kazakhs. Turkmenistan is going to be land of the Turkmen. Um, Now, they're all going to be former Soviet countries, so they're going to be treated as such. They're going to have, yes, that ethnic group. They're also going to have Russians. They're also going to have other ethnic groups living there. However, when the Soviet Union broke up and these countries all became independent, you did see a large return of people. So the primary ethnic group in each one is going to be the first part of the word. So Kyrgyzstan is going to be the land of the Kyrgyz. Um, so hopefully that makes some sense to you. So I'm going to let you kind of go through these. I'm not going to go through them word for word. Um, all of these, like we say, are former Soviet nations, so they are going to, for the most part, a lot of factories are going to be located here. The smaller countries down here are going to be mountainous, and you put Soviet factories in with mountains, so pollution is going to be a problem in all of them, really. Um, Kazakhstan would be the one that I might take a minute or two and talk about, simply because Kazakhstan was going to be the biggest. It was going to be a place that was going to be used for multiple things. Yeah, there's going to be factories there, but there's also going to be um, nuclear testing that was done there. There's also going to be biological weapons that were created there. It was completely illegal, but the Soviet Union did have a biological weapons program, and in Kazakhstan, they had this huge facility that was designed to create anthrax. Um, they to this day, the Russians, claim that they didn't have this, that they were just doing research. But the Kazakhs have actually allowed Americans to come in and see what was going on, what was being, what it was capable of. Now, when they created some of this stuff, they actually dumped it onto what we call Vajrajdinya Island or Vaz Island. We're going to talk about the Aral Sea here in a minute, and you'll understand the connection there. So, nuclear testing, that's obviously going to create some environmental problems. The biological weapons, that's going to create some problems. But they were also going to decide that this was going to be a place where they were going to produce agriculture, specifically cotton. I don't know how much you know about cotton, but cotton requires a lot of water. Kazakhstan is a lot of desert. So you're producing something that uses a lot of water in a desert area. That's going to obviously cause problems because you're going to have to use irrigation to make that work. And the Soviet policy was, hey, if we make a decision, that's what we're going to do, and nobody's really going to be able to tell us different. So obviously some issues there. So like I say, if you have any questions about any of the stands here, let me know. But we're going to move on to the Aral Sea. Now, with regards to the Aral Sea, the big thing you need to know about the Aral Sea is that the Aral Sea is shrinking and has been getting smaller. If you look at these pictures here, you've got this one, which is, this picture's probably in the 1960s. This is probably 1980s version of the Aral Sea. So obviously you can see in that time period, there are going to be some changes that have been made. This is that Vaz Rajdenia Island. Obviously, it was originally a small island out here. As time goes on, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The problem now is that it's actually connected to the mainland. It's no longer an island, so they dumped anthrax here, thinking that it'll be safe there. And the reality is, well, now rodents can get onto there and can dig it up and can bring it back to other places. Potentially terrorists could get in there and use it. So there's, obviously some potential issues with regards to that. Here's another comparison from 1989 through 2003. You can see major difference. This is Vaz Island. Now here's more of what it is once we get to the 2000s. Obviously, big changes. The diverting water away is what's going to cause all of this. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that you will probably see the Aral Sea disappear in your lifetime. I don't think that's much of a stretch because in order to change this procedure, in order to change this process, you have to get farmers specifically in desert regions to say, we no longer want water. That's the only way that this is ever going to come back is to restore all of the water that once was coming to it. I don't think you're ever going to find a situation where people are going to say, no, I don't want water anymore. So if you don't have as much water going into it to take care of the evaporation that's going to happen in a desert landscape, it's just inevitable that it's going to happen. Again, just some comparisons from 1957 to November of 2000, June 2001. You can see massive changes in where the coastline used to be and where it is more today. Just one more comparison to show you the drastic difference from where it was in 1960 to where it was in 2010. This is showing you what it actually looks like today, 2020. You can see that my prediction of hey, it's going to disappear in our lifetime, it's not far from the truth. This shows you this drawing here shows you what it originally was, and here's what it's reduced to today. Drastically different. So you will see out in here, there will be things like this boats that are in the middle of the desert that used to be on water and now they're miles away from where the Aral Sea actually is. So that's the story of the Aral Sea. It is shrinking. It will likely disappear in our lifetime. Started because of Soviet policy of producing cotton in Kazakhstan had to irrigate, and that's why we have what we have. All right. If you have any questions about any of this, please don't hesitate to email me. Let me know what questions you have, so that we can all make sure we're prepared for what's coming in the quiz in the coming days.